This is Soul Talk, and I'm your host, Alena Chapman, and my co-host, Melinda Engel. Well,
I'm tired today.
well, yeah, guys, I got these. It's not part of the show, but I have these 5 ducks. Now they are not fully grown. I swear, I think they hate me. I think the ducks hate me, and they won't come to me. Well, today I let them out of their little coop, and Melinda was here. We were having a meeting, and this has nothing to do with it's relationships with my ducks, okay?
Yes.
And so then I'm all of a sudden this massive, big. I mean, how big?
It was huge.
2-3 feet. 2-3
yeah.
feet. Snake, black snake.
Now maybe listen, 3 or 4 actually.
I like big snakes, black snakes, because they kill copperheads and rattlesnakes, and I live on the mountain. That's probably a good idea. Well, I didn't know they ate ducks, and this thing is like on the wild hunt for my ducks, and my ducks don't follow me because they hate me.
Yeah, and they ran from us a lot.
They ran right into
the snake.
What in the hell? And I'm telling you, I think you might enjoy that story, but I mean, I've never heard. Ducks are supposed to follow you and love you, and all animals usually love me. These ducks really don't.
They're defective, are they?
They're defective. Well, anyway, that's what we've been doing in this humid weather, saving my ducks from the snake, and them fighting me every inch of the way to be saved.
That happened.
I like smart animals because you can reason with them.
Right.
The snake was smarter than the ducks.
Correct.
I could talk to the snake, but I can't talk to the ducks. Now, I hope they give good eggs. They better do something. Anyway, all right. So, by the way, guys, we are looking for questions. And I know that you're enjoying this. This podcast is going up. Thank you.
Nice.
And I love that you subscribe. And I love, share it out there, because if you have questions about things, they do too. Everybody does. This is something like, it's really weird. Nobody wants to talk about some of the most important things in your life, and that's relationships with other people, especially the one you want to spend your life with or the one that you're dating. And nobody really wants to get into depth. And here, that's why I started this show, because we're going to get in depth and we're going to talk. And so, but I need your questions. And they can be short. We got a very short one today, don't we? Yeah, so we have a very short one, and you can be anonymous or make up a name. We don't need to know who you are.
Yeah, we won't even read it half the time unless you specifically ask us or whatever.
The ducks really tired her out. Her libido, she's like...
My libido?
No, something's down.
All of it is just, it's hot. It's been a long day.
It's been a very hot heat wave. All right. We're out there chasing ducks.
We literally were just chasing ducks. It's like 1,000 degrees, me and her sweating.
That'll kill a relationship.
Yeah. It didn't. We're still here. We're
together. Friends, and that's a good thing. Yeah, I even had my son out there. We were trying to do everything. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so what is our question? Because we got good. This is a good one. I'm excited.
It is a good question, and it's so short that I didn't need to read it.
Wow.
Okay, it was a specific, very cut to the point question.
What is the question?
Can sex still be sacred and sexy?
Now, it's really funny. When we got this question, Melinda was like, yeah, of course.
Yeah. She's like, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, because she sounds like the angel, doesn't she? No, the thing is, okay, all right, this is a very good question. This is an incredibly good question, because so many times we succumb to the other person's way of having sex, especially a woman to a man. That happens a lot. Or the female aspect to the male aspect. Let's put it that way. So, so can it be, I wonder if this is the female aspect asking the question. It all depends on what is your hot or wild sex, right? And really fun wild sex, and what is theirs. And there really has to be a little conversation about it. It doesn't have to be, oh my gosh, sit down at the kitchen table kind of stuff. But when you're in the bedroom and you are having this, it's nice to sense out what each other likes and what doesn't, and just kind of ask. And if there's something you want, ask. And just see, can it be just as sacred? Yes, because you're respecting each other, and you're trying to make each other happy, and you're trying to make each other really happy, right?
Yeah, and I think that's the sexy part of it.
Yeah. Now, I also say there's a lot too that really, there's also, I think, why isn't there room for both? Because there's also this wonderful feeling when there's just the two of you, and it's just this raw, warm, romantic, just building with each other. That building with each other, that look in the eyes, and that is incredibly sexy also. But there has to be a place for both.
Yeah.
I think anything can get boring if you do it too much. But you can get into always looking at the newest fad, or looking for other people to fill a need then. But I think setting up wonderful little venues and situations where you can try really kind of wild sex and get some fantasies in there and have some good time is really fun. And I always say, but you got to do it it can go very wrong if you are dating someone and you don't really know them all that well. It can go wrong. Some people love it. I tend not to. I don't like things to go wrong. So it's when you have your partner, it can be, if he or she is on board, or I should use they are on board, then oh my gosh, you can have meaningful, fun, sacred, wild sex, and it is a blast. And then you can have those cool, warm, just romantic ones too. There's no rule on it. That's what it is. It's supposed to be fun. Otherwise, it can get boring. What do you think?
I agree completely.
You do?
Yeah.
So have I gone on the dark side, or have you come over on the light?
I think you're on the dark side today. No, I'm just kidding. I think that anything can be sexy, honestly.
Well, yeah.
Anything to deal with intimacy, I guess I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And I know some people are kind of weird about the things that they like, or they won't like it because they think it makes them a bad person or something like that. So I think it just depends on the individual.
There's a spiritual thing about that too, and I know that they think it makes them a bad person. We're so scared of that side of us. But really, even in your spirituality, along with your sex life, we are a dichotomy of good and bad. And it's not, and really, the ascension really starts when you start to recognize and accept that other side of you. And knowing that maybe you don't want it to be the main thing, but it's there. But that side, for me, is also the side that is, I'll stand up for myself. I won't let someone take the upper hand if I don't want it. That is the side that will come out when I am being ignored in my wants or desires. And it's also by accepting that side, there's no guilt anymore. And I can kind of dip in and dip out when I want. And more, it's allowed me to open up more into my own light. Isn't that interesting? It's funny, the things that we abhor or try to resist are the things that control us. Very interesting. So why are you letting it control you, right?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Why are you worried about it?
Yeah. And really, you don't know. I mean, the other thing is, most stuff that is what we consider awful is because society has told us.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
180%,
actually.
Yeah. And sex, of all things, is a time between two people, or two or three, or whatever your fancy is.
Well,
but it's between people who are creating something together, and it is if everyone is in agreement and everybody is happy with what's going on, it can be incredibly fun and build an incredible bond. Yeah?
well, like when we were talking about the E&M, the ethical non-monogamy.
Yes.
And you were like, if there's more than one, two people, I see that being a disaster.
No, I don't see that. Not as far as sex.
No, not really any of it. I think it's just all individual based.
It is individual based, and it's what you love, as long as you've got others that join you in it, that
Right.
if you want others in it.
Right.
Right? Yeah. Sex has taken on, and not just sex, but relationships have taken on so many levels. We have to have a show on that too. We will.
Yeah. And I mean, just talking about the societal norms or whatever, those kinds of things. That's probably why you feel that way to begin with. Like why you would even ask us a question like that.
Oh gosh.
You know what I mean?
Of course it is. You know that. In church they even said women are not. I remember when I was growing up, the guys, you had to watch out because they want your virginity, right? Mm-hmm. And I heard this forever, and I didn't really take in the dogmas, but God, the nuns were all over the place on this. Mm-hmm. And that the men would take over the men, you got to keep those men away, keep your pants pulled up kind of thing, right?
Yeah, knees together.
They never talked about women having feelings for sexuality. Women are extremely sexual in their teens and their 20s. They just are. And nobody talks about that. We're not supposed to want it. And it's gotten a little bit better, but my gosh, when my mom was growing up, you were not supposed to want, a lady doesn't want that.
That's nuts.
And so what does that do? That puts us in the position where we don't even know what we want.
Right. They like it that way. And that way it only caters to them.
Well, some men, but some men don't. Right. Some men really care about you, and they really want to make you happy. And they find it extremely frustrating, or other women. I mean, your partner will find it extremely frustrating not knowing what turns you on or what will get you excited, because that's part of the pleasure is helping someone else feel that incredible excitement, that wonder inside, that electricity inside them. And if you don't have that, if you can't do it because you're so out of touch yourself because of what the church has taught you, the school has taught you, the parents have taught you, that's a big experience that you're not allowing your life for this other person to explore. And it does hurt the relationship. It really does. Yeah. We've got so many dogmas out there about how to behave and everything. I think if it's two consenting adults and you really love each other, or you just want to try things out, then why would you stop? Why would you stop? And if you are both in agreement with things, and you really have this exploratory spirit, then explore it with them. Mm-hmm. Don't let other people who have no idea. And by the way, watch those other people. Watch how tightly bound that they are. Watch how they are so judgmental. Watch how they are so strict in their own lives. You don't want to be like that. That's not a way to live and experience and create and be the fullness of your soul. You want to explore and try different things.
I did.
I did too.
I still am sometimes.
Yeah, and I like trying different things. And in some ways, I'm just starting to discover some of the things I really like. And if you have a partner that doesn't want to try anything, or who doesn't like you,
dump his ass.
You try anything, okay? They are happy.
I think you should dump them.
They get there. You think just dump them?
Yep. I think that people lie about how important sex is in a relationship. I think they skirt around it. They try to say, well, not everything's based on that. And it's like, okay, we know that. But this is like a serious, intimate, deep connection that you have to have with somebody. Now, I'm not saying, does it have to be all the time? No. But what I'm saying is...
That's another question.
If it's just something that you just don't care, or you don't care to please the other person, or your partner has been told time and time again, hey, these are the things that I need from this, and they're just like...
Ignoring it?
Oh, well. Like, this is one of the things that kills me so often. And us being in this, we've seen so many questions.
Yes.
And like the whole... There's so many cheating questions, and a lot of people are like, well, that came out of left field, I didn't know it. But if you were to really like talk to those people and see the actual issues that they had in the relationship, it's normally one partner not giving what they want to get, or what they should.
Exactly. That brings us back to the sex. Everybody will say that sex is not the whole relationship. No, but let me tell you, when sex goes out of a relationship, then all of a sudden you start seeing the caring go out of the relationship. And you start seeing a separate of ways start happening in the relationship. Sex is extremely important. Now, I'm not saying every night. I'm not saying 2 times. You don't have to do
Right. It's not the amount. It's the quality of the sex.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're right in the middle of the road.
I told you.
Yeah. But I have always seen that if a relationship, you got to understand, that is the only place that somebody can be so vulnerable with you.
Yes.
That is the place that someone can show all their sides. If you're doing sex the way it should be done. It is a way of sharing your deepest desires with another person, and a closeness, and it's caring about the other person. When you take that out of the relationship, it turns into roommates. Now, sure, it's a gradual disintegration, but it happens.
Yeah. And
we had that question about that woman who said, I don't want sex anymore.
Yeah.
And yet sex is... You've got to find something that partner of yours will equate equally to sex, because you need something that brings you close. Let's face it, life is can I say that word?
What word?
Bitch.
Yeah.
I said it. All right. It is.
I said it.
It's hard. Then you have kids. Oh my gosh, it's like having my ducks. No, my kids are much better than my ducks. But Kids are one of the major issues in a marriage. They can make or break a marriage.
Yeah.
And if you are not secure in the loving and care and respect of each other, you'll start tearing each other apart on that. Because my parents raised me this way, my parents raised me this way. And you never come together in how you two would like to raise kids. Or even just if you decide not to have kids, careers, other people who are interested in your partners. There is a host of stuff out there that is temptation, and it's important to have, I think mostly it's the vulnerability and the really caring for your partner that sex gives, that you don't get at the breakfast table.
Right. And like it's kind of like the difference between having a lover and a partner and a friend. Like you don't sleep with your friends, but you know.
No, but your lover,
because you have to have that closeness with them.
You have to, and it is different than a friend. It is,
unless you get 2 people who just don't want to have sex and they're not interested in it, and they come together. Perfect.
I still think they can come together. Yes. Now there are some relationships that don't have sex. Do they work? Yes, but they have to find. Everyone that I have seen that is very successful, every single one, has and worked with, has found something else that equates that vulnerability, that closeness, and that I love to say other earthly feeling between the two. And that's what you're really trying to reach. When you reach that, you guys become one. Whether you're having sex or not, you become one in this world. It's so cool. And I think that's one thing that we are all here to feel. It's really important. I don't know why we put such a voodoo thing on it, because not that voodoo's bad, I don't want to say that either, but we do put like a voodoo thing on it, that it is. And so we in the light, I know this for sure. I've been there, folks. I have been to heaven and back. Didn't die, but I was there. And I've been there, and the one thing I know is that it's unconditional, beautiful love. But it's not, that's a different kind of love than we're here to experience here on this earth. And that closeness that you have with one person like that, that is big. And we shouldn't miss it.
Agreed.
Yeah. So, there we go. Go have fun.
Yeah, your sex can be sacred and sexy.
It can definitely be. So guys,
I'm glad you agree.
I like that question. I like it.
That's a good one.
And guys, we're not like tabooing this to just meeting, as you know now. We're also taking the questions that have these more. Well, chat doesn't even like our question. Chat doesn't even agree with if you want to ask something like this. Believe me, I tried, and it doesn't. So where are you going to get the answers? Right here. Because we're going to open up to it. We're going to talk to you about these questions that some of you are really, we don't want you to be in pain. There's no reason to be, right?
Or have bad sex.
Or feel bad about yourself. That's the worst thing of all. All right, we love you all. Share this out. Let people know.
Ask your questions.
And ask your questions. But yeah, share it out there. We need to know, the people need to know how important they are. And their relationships. Love you all. Namaste, everybody.
Bye.